and welcome to the DigitalShack.net. My name is Abraham, and I'll be introducing you to VisualBasics.net. I recommend this video if you're looking to get started with VB.net. If you've never done any development or never used Visual Studios, then I would recommend this video to you, or this tutorials. So the first thing we're going to get started with is the Integrated Development Environment, or also known as IDE, which is this screen here that you're seeing. The IDE, think of it as a toolbox where you have all the necessary tools to create, design, and deploy programs that you need. For deployment, yeah, there is an extra step, but we'll get to that, I guess, in some other tutorial. For the time being, I just want to show you how to get started. So let's get started. We're going to close this edition out, and we're going to install. Let me bring over the screen. Here we go. By the way, I have multiple screens, so you'll see me bring things in and out. I do apologize for that. We go to www.visualstudio.com. And if you happen not to follow the links, don't worry. I will be sure to include the links where I go to, in addition to links that I feel will be helpful to you, throughout the video. So anyway, now we're here. In this page, this is Microsoft's Visual Studio's website. Here you can download, and you can even find training. There's a lot of stuff, so I recommend this page a lot. Not just to download the product, but also to look at pretty much many other things they have. Alright, so to download it, we can either click here, and then click right into Community. But before I do that, I just want to show you all different editions so you can get an understanding of what they are, or at least pretty much an overall. So these editions here, the Professional Enterprise, these are premium, so you do have to purchase them. This is the one that we're going to be using, which is Visual Studio's Community. Now, don't let the fact that it's free deceive you. Community, I'll dare to say, is very close to Professional. In fact, if we look at the charts, you'll notice that there are things that Professional has that this one doesn't. But for the most part, yeah, as a matter of fact, if you see here, look, it's only up here. And that would be, not sure what this Enterprise is, but yeah, that's the only thing that it doesn't have. So in reality, if you're looking to get started, or you're looking to use this as a hobby, or even if you're looking to do this as a freelancer, this might be the ideal version of Visual Studio to install. And hey, the best part, it's free. Eventually, as you grow, and you may need other features, and you become more proficient in development, then you might want to look into the Professional or Enterprise. But anyway, enough of that. Let's go back to the download screen. And we click download. We're going to click free download. Okay, we just got to give it a second, and there we go. So, in case you do not know in case you don't have it down here, usually it'll throw it in your downloads folder, or depending on the browser that you're using, if it's in the Edge now or Internet Explorer. Although Edge, I think, is similar to this now. You can actually click on it. With Firefox, I don't know if it's still that way, but I remember on the top, you would be able to click on the download management icon, and you'll be able to select it from there. Again, it depends on the browser you have. If you're not sure, by all means, drop me a message, and I'll be more than happy to help you out as to where to find it. Anyway, moving forward, we click on this. This will bring up a screen. We click Continue. And we're going to need this page, so I'm going to close it out. Now, the one thing I love, and I want to highlight this. If you've never used Visual Studios before, the installations before, as opposed to now, it's amazing, because before you would have to actually select the language that you wanted to install, and it would install components that you probably never even use. By the way, components are tools that you will never even use. Now, what Microsoft has done is they've broken down things into workloads. So for example, in our case, we're going to be doing .NET desktop development. So we're going to check that off. That's going to install only what we need, which would be Visual Basics, as you can see here. Moving forward, here are the components that is going to be installing. These are the ones that we're going to need. So let's say we were also to do web development, and we would need this here. And as you notice, that would install more features. But, you know, again, we're only going to focus on this. So the one thing I like about what Microsoft has done is that it makes it a lot more lightweight to install. Before, it used to take forever. Now, you know, I can say that it's a lot simpler to install it. Another thing is you can do side-by-side installations. So in my case, I already have an edition of Visual Studios. I have Visual Studios Enterprise. So now that I'm installing the Community Edition, down here where it says installation nickname, I can actually change that nickname. This is something you're not going to have to worry about, and you don't really need to worry about this. You know, unless later on you decide to install another edition, but you know, I don't think you'll ever really worry about it. So in my case, I'm going to put Community just so that I can keep, you know, so that I know what's what, and then install. Okay, this will guide you through the installation process. By the way, this here is the size, so it's 3.67 gigabytes. If I'm just selecting this, as I select any other features here or any other workloads, that will increase here. And why are you installing? And here we go. Alright, so now we click launch, and before I do, remember what I mentioned about side-by-side? This is what I mean. So I have my edition here of Visual Studios Enterprise, and now I have the Visual Studios Community Edition. Also, you remember that what I typed in, here it is. It's just so that I can differentiate the versions. I'm guessing mostly in the menu, because yeah, there we go. See, this is the Enterprise. This is the Community Edition. All right. Again, I don't think you have to bother with that. I just figure I'd throw that in. All right. So if we click launch, it'll start, and this is Visual Studios now, the Community Edition. All right. I think it's already starting to bring stuff in. Yep, there we go. So as you notice, it turned black. This is the way I like it. This is the way I set up Visual Studios from the beginning. And going back to what I was telling you about, what I like now about Visual Studios is that if you sign in here, by default, there's obviously not going to be any sign-in. It doesn't know you. So you have to go in and actually set up your username and password. So if you don't have a Microsoft login account, I recommend you do one. The fact that this account is there, whenever I make changes on the development environment, it'll store it on their cloud, and then wherever I log into Visual Studios, it will automatically download my settings. So all right, moving forward, we've already installed Visual Studios. This is what it looks like. For now, we're going to leave it here. So I think the video is lengthy enough, but I needed to give you a rundown of what we're going to be doing. Again, you can look at the links. I will make sure that I put them on the video. If you have any questions, comments, by all means, please, leave it there. And hey, don't forget to like it. Thank you so much, and I hope this tutorial was useful.